Today's video is for all the shrimp lovers. If you like the Asian sweet heat, you're definitely gonna love what I got cooked up today. Oh man, the emotion. I love shrimp. And anybody who loves shrimp will understand why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting to this. This is absolutely amazing. Oh man. Today I'm cooking one of my dishes that is an absolute favorite of mine. It's shrimp. I am a shrimp lover. I love shrimp like I love scallions, like I love bacon. Sort of an addiction slightly, but we're doing a little sweet heat today. We're gonna use a habanero pepper, fish sauce, combine it with a little sugar, and what you'll have is this concoction you see in the bowl. I can't like show it to you right now because I'll spill it, but this stuff right here is absolutely amazing. And it smells good too. For the marinade, it's a 1/4 cup of sugar. You're gonna need 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, 5 tablespoons of olive oil. You're gonna need half of a habanero. Don't use the whole thing. Don't do 3 or 4 and say, hey, I love spicy food. Let me throw about 4 habanero peppers in there. Don't do that. My uncle and myself tried that when we were experimenting with this dish, when we came up with it. And let me tell you, we had to take turns blending this whole situation up because it was like somebody hit us with CS gas. We were coughing and we were hacking and we were sneezing. We had runny noses because these habanero peppers are no joke. Like literally, it's hot, real hot. So what you wanna do is you wanna cut it in half, cut the seeds out, and drop just half of a habanero, and I promise you, whatever Spanish you took in the past, it will have you speaking Spanish perfectamente como tú eres un latino, oíste? Seriously, that's what it's gonna do for you. With this marinade, you don't wanna mix it up by hand, nor use a pestle and mortar. Just go ahead and stick it in a Ninja blender, or whatever you have that'll blend your stuff up. Drop it in there, the 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 6 cloves of garlic. Drop it in there, blend it up. You're gonna have this orange consistency if you use a red habanero. You have an orange consistency, or if you use an orange one, you have a really like yellowy consistency. Either way, you're gonna have the same taste, just a different look. Generally what I tend to do, I let the marinade sit in the shrimp for about 30 minutes. I'll salt and pepper the shrimp first, and then I'll dump the marinade in there, let it sit. Don't try to use brown sugar. Don't try to use anything other than white cane sugar or just white sugar, period. And you want that white sugar because white sugar, when it starts to burn, when it gets on heat on a hot pan and you're searing it, it gives it a black, burned, charry look to the shrimp. And you want that black, burned, charry look because that's what's gonna make the sauce dark and give that shrimp some gloss. And it's gonna be absolutely flavorful, amazing. It's gonna be crazy. And also when you're cooking this, turn your fan on because the heat and the smoke, and you got the habanero peppers in the marinade, it's gonna start to get into your pores. You wanna start out with a very hot pan because you wanna make sure that you sear these shrimp. Searing the shrimp is the key to the aesthetic, and also, like I said, the darkness in the sauce. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of vegetable oil. Let that warm up just a little bit. Kind of move it around. And make sure you get the whole pan like covered in oil because if you don't get it covered in oil, then you're gonna have this dry pan and the shrimp's gonna stick to it and it's gonna peel. It's not gonna be right. Make sure you use peeled shrimp because I know somebody's gonna watch this video and say, well, hey, you didn't tell me to use peeled shrimp, so I just bought some peeled shrimp and stuck it in the pan, man. Pay attention. Pay attention to what it is that I'm doing. And you'll see that I didn't peel not one shrimp through this whole video. It's time to cook this. This is a video where we're not gonna do a whole lot of talking, although I am doing a lot of talking. It's time to cook this shrimp. Before you put the shrimp in the pan, you wanna give it one good mix around. Make sure to use a spoon. Do not use a fork. You don't wanna stick your shrimp, tear your shrimp. You want everything to be pretty when you put it on the plate. Smooth it around, let it get a good coating. You want that sugar to get on there. You need that sear, that coat, that black burn look to give it that flavor. So make sure your pan is smoking like this, where it looks like it's almost burning. What you want to do is drop it in the middle first and then work your way outside. And do it fast. Don't take your time with it. Do it fairly quick. So it's very important that you cook this on a very high heat. You want the shrimp to sear. And let it sit there. Let it actually kind of just slightly caramelize the sugar and let it burn just a little bit. Don't let the shrimp burn. Let the sugar caramelize. Like I said, that is the beauty of it. That's the aesthetic. Food is all about the aesthetic. Although something can look like a brown mound of something, you know what that brown mound is, right? Take a guess. And it can still taste very good. But it makes the experience of eating that much more pleasant when you have a great aesthetic and the food tastes good. See, that's the difference between going to a buffet, going to a mom and pop's or a high-end restaurant. The mom and pop, mom and pop. The mom and pop will pay attention to detail. The high-end restaurant will pay attention to detail. The buffet in the middle, they're gonna throw it out, long line like it's a trough of food, and they're gonna let everybody just dig in. There's no aesthetic, you're just eating. And 9 times out of 10, the food might not be that good unless you're at a mom and pop that has a buffet. So I'm starting to smell a little bit of the burn, the caramelization of the sugar, so that's how I know it's time to turn it over. And also, I see the shrimp on the side that's not being cooked turning pink. That's when you know to flip it over. Make sure you turn the shrimp over in the middle first because that's what you place down initially. See that shrimp right there? That's how you want it to look. You want it to be burned. You want it to be charred a little bit. That's a good caramelization of the sugar. So once you flip them over, you don't want to let them cook as long as you did initially. Now I'm gonna take the marinade. I'm gonna dump it in. I'm gonna turn the pan down a little, turn the heat down a little bit. So you want to turn the heat down to about a medium. Then we're gonna dump the marinade in there. I have a few leftover shrimp. So what you want to do is you want to toss it around. That's what I'm talking about with the habaneros. But it's a good cough. It's a good pain. Then we'll take a little bit of basil. Basil with the heat off. Drop it in there. Just shake it around, toss it. Now we're gonna put it on the plate. The smell of the basil, the shrimp. I told you that was gonna go quick. Look at this. That is good stuff. Take a look at it. Take a look at this shrimp. You see it? Look at that shrimp. This is what you want. That's what you want. You don't want it too saucy. You just want just enough to where it sticks and it coats onto the shrimp individually. And you just have this absolute flavor, this monster flavor. The smell. Basil, habaneros. By the way, shrimp in Spanish is camarones. The smell. Oh man, the emotion. I love shrimp. And anybody who loves shrimp will understand why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting to this. This is absolutely amazing. Oh man. It's good, take my word for it. The habanero, it's like kicking in. It's the heat, the sweet, the fish sauce. What is any Asian dish without fish sauce? It's like having an apple pie with no apples. Have you ever heard of that? I don't think you have, but if you have, get back to me and let me know. This is an amazing combination. Let me tell you. So I have a broccoli video. Asian swagged out broccoli with balsamic vinaigrette, ginger that I put in the oven. You make that broccoli along with this shrimp. You'll be in love. Not only will you not get fat or gain any weight, you can eat as much of it as you want, but it's gonna be something that will be absolutely flavorful, because most of the time, broccoli is not flavorful. Follow the instructions. The recipe will come out perfectly fine. Don't overcook your shrimp. Remember, you have your shrimp laid down initially on the front side. As soon as you drop it in, you start to see it turn pink on the side that's facing you. That's when you know to flip it over. Let it cook for maybe 20, 30 seconds more on that side and pull it out, turn the heat off and let it go, put it on the plate, be done. But this is amazing. Enjoy cooking, because I'm always gonna enjoy eating. Add the broccoli with the shrimp and you'll be good to go.